Presidential Election Tribunal rules in Atiku Obi's petitions against Tinubu. Labour strike suffers partial compliance over cracks in union. Plus, CBN Naira may rebound, clears dollar debts. Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Express live in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Chidima Jeresen. The Presidential Election Petition Court has dismissed the suit of the Allied People's Movement (APM) seeking to nullify President Bola Tinubu's election. The court, in its ruling delivered in Abuja on Wednesday, dismissed the petition for lacking in merit and being incompetent. Chairman of the panel, Justice Haruna Asmani, who read the judgment, held that the prayers the APM raised in its petition contained pre-election matters that could only be determined by the Federal High Court. The Presidential Election Petition Court on Wednesday struck out some paragraphs containing allegations of irregularities and corrupt practices by Mr. Peter Obi in his petition challenging the declaration of Bola Tinubu as winner of the February 25th presidential election. The five-member panel struck out the affected paragraphs on the grounds that they were vague, imprecise, vague, and failed to meet the requirements of pleadings. According to the ruling, in a case of alleged malpractice in over 500 polling units, it does not suffice for the petitioners to say some polling units or collation centers without being specific. Justice Mohammed Foda faulted the petitioners for relying on the spreadsheet analysis, inspection results, and expert reports. According to Mohammed, such documents ought to be served on the respondents to enable them do their own analysis and respond accordingly. Vice President Kashim Shettima has said that Nigeria, which used to be the sleeping giant of the world, is now ready to take its rightful place in the global arena. Speaking on Tuesday at the 16th Annual Banking and Finance Conference holding in Abuja on the theme, Nigeria, the sleeping giant of Africa, has woken up from its slumber, Shettima restated that the withdrawal of fuel subsidy was irrevocable. And joining the participants at the conference to come on board to help build a nation for all, the vice president said the current administration was partnering with some banks to drive a digital economic process. He stated that some banks were already working with governments to teach young Nigerian men digital skills to compete in the global digital space. A major division between the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) has led to partial compliance in the two-day warning strike declared by the Nigerian workers over the delay in the implementation of the palliatives announced by the federal government to cushion the effects of its removal of fuel subsidy. Across the states of the Federation, the TUC and NLC took opposing positions on the strike, which is slated to continue today. The TUC said it opposed the strike because it would not yield the desired result. Its chairman in Cross River State, Comrade Monday Ogbodun, condemned a two-day warning strike embarked upon by leaders of NLC, describing the leadership of NLC as insensitive. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji Ojo, on Tuesday said all passport backlogs should be cleared within the next 2 weeks, adding that there is no excuse for passport delay in Nigeria. He also said he is in talks with service providers and the Nigerian Immigration Service to digitize and decentralize the process of fresh passport issuance and renewal. The minister said owning the green passport is a right of every Nigerian and not a privilege. He said it is not excusable for any Nigerian to be treated with disrespect because of passport application. Adding what Nigerians want to see is solutions, and that is what the president has constantly told us: no excuses. The federal government has said it will be engaging terminal operators for the rehabilitation of the $800 million, an equivalent of 593 billion naira ports of Apapa, Tinka, and others. The Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, said this on Monday when he was led on a familiarization visit to Apapa and Tinkan Island ports by the Managing Director of the Nigerian Ports Authority, Mohammed Bello Kuku, and his management team. However, reacting to this, Oyetola said the port was almost collapsing, adding that the reconstruction would commence soon. The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, on Wednesday has assured the public of safety following a minor electrical fault at the old terminal of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport MMIA Lagos. In a press statement, the Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Yakubu Funtua, said suspected electrical spark at the baggage wholesaling caused a smoke incident, resulting in a fire scare. Prompt response from the Aerodrome Rescue and Firefighting Services of the airport and the electrical department of the authority saved the situation. Yakubu Funtua, however, stated that the situation has been put under control. The ad hoc committee constituted by the House of Representatives to investigate the activities of the Nigeria Sovereign Investment Authority since its inspection has held the management of the NSIA over its interventions in the healthcare sector. The members of the committee commended the NSIA during an oversight visit at the NSIA Youth Cancer Center in Lagos on Monday. The visit was for the members of the committee to inspect and review the project undertaken by the NSIA and their impact on the Nigerian economy, adding that the key areas of focus were healthcare, infrastructure, and agriculture. As a result, the NSIA Healthcare Development Investment Company was established to catalyze private sector investments to address the infrastructure gaps in the healthcare sector, improve manpower, and forge strategic collaborations to advance healthcare indicators in the country. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris says Nigeria is respected globally on account of President Bola Tinubu's stand for the ideals of democracy. In a statement on Tuesday, Idris said, as chair of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Tinubu has raised the profile of Nigeria by promoting the rule of law and seeking to reverse the toppling of a democratic government in neighboring Niger Republic. Meanwhile, signs of discontent within the Nigerian armed forces are mounting. Soldiers, both non-commissioned officers and officers, do not feel supported or protected by the junta's generals. The non-commissioned soldiers are believed to be more concerned with protecting their financial interests and their already shaken footing in power than with defending the interests of their subordinates. No longer listening to their men, the junta is alleged to be increasingly isolated while popular anger rumbles. You're watching Global TV News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the News Express returns, CBN repays banks next week. Naira may rebound as Apex Bank clears dollar debt. We have details of these and other stories for you right after this break. Please don't go away. This is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of the News Express from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Flooding caused by heavy rain has led to at least 10 deaths in Bulgaria, Turkey, and Greece. In Bulgaria, pictures from the Sarajevo area show fast-moving floodwaters deep enough to submerge cars. Rivers overflowed and authorities were working to evacuate tourists from a campsite at Arapia, just outside Sarajevo. A bridge collapsed south of the town, and there were reports that 3 people had been on it at the time were missing. Environment Minister Julian Popov said Bulgaria would have to accept more serious and more frequent rainfall in the future because of climate change. Water cascades through the streets in Turkey's biggest city, Istanbul, washed away cars and trapping people in a local library. Ukrainian lawmakers on Wednesday approved President Volodymyr Zelensky's nomination of Rustem Umerov, a Crimean Tatar, as Kyiv's new defense minister after the resignation of Oleksiy Reznikov. The 41-year-old appointment marks a significant change for Ukraine more than a year and a half into Russia's invasion, and follows corruption scandal in the defense ministry. Zelensky's nomination Umerov for the role, calling for new approaches in Ukraine's defense ministry. The acting governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Folashodun Shonubi, has said the Apex Bank will repay banks all outstanding forward contract debts in the next 1 to 2 weeks. Although he did not disclose the total amount of the outstanding dollars debt, a report by JP Morgan, a United States-based bank, in a recent report puts the total amount of forward contract debt owed by the CBN at $6.84 billion. Shonubi, who spoke in Lagos, said there is no outstanding $7 billion as claimed by the JP Morgan. It was just their opinion that was put in a paper, and many people jumped on it. Shonubi, while reaffirmed the CBN's ongoing intervention in the market, emphasized its commitment to stabilizing exchange rates despite contributing less than 25% of the market volume. Sunday's Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Sao Tome and Principe at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, will be Jose Peseiro's 10th game as Super Eagles head coach, over a year after he took charge of the team. The Portuguese tactician took up his role as the Eagles coach following his resignation as Venezuela manager in 2021. The Nigerian Football Federation announced the appointment of Peseiro as the new coach of the Super Eagles May 15, 2022, replacing Osti Eguavon, who returned to his technical director role at the federation. For more updates on sports, let's now join Sharon Ajay.
Weightlifters departed Nigeria yesterday for the 2023 International Weightlifting Federation (IWF) Championship in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, after being in camp for 2 months. The lifters comprise of 4 females and 2 males who would be representing the country to feature in the World Championship from 4th to 7th September 2023. The head coach of Nigerian Weightlifting Federation (NWF), Ojadi Aduche, said that the championship would serve as a qualifier for the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris, France. Elsewhere, former world 100-meter hurdles champion Tobi Amusan and 400 meters hurdler Ezekiel Nathaniel have secured their spot at next year's Olympic Games in Paris, France. Last December, World Athletics had revealed the pathway to qualify for the athletics at Paris 2024, including the entry standard athletes will need to achieve. Amusan is the first Nigerian to secure a place at the Games, subject to confirmation at Nigerian's Championship in 2024. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
As we end Global TV News Express, a quick look at some of our top stories. Presidential Election Tribunal has ruled in Atiku Obi's petition against Tinubu. Labor strike has suffered partial compliance over cracks in union. And finally, we told you CBN to repay banks next week as Apex Bank clears dollar debts. And that's it on Global TV News Express, live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Chidinma Jerasin, thanking you so very much for watching. I'll see you again.